Hi, welcome, and thank you so much for being here today. We're going to do a timeless collective reading. Whenever it finds you, it's the right time. See what resonates, leave what doesn't, and remember that divine inner guidance. It's in you, and try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition. So your decisions are sound, based in love, and for the highest, greatest good of everyone. So we're all uplifted in love. Today's reading is going to be focused on love. So see which messages feel like they are a fit, like they make sense. If Cinderella's slipper feels like it's the wrong size, it's probably a message for somebody else. So we're going to start with a few foundational messages from the Modern Love Tarot. Jump over to the Divine Truth and just kind of go with the flow from there. So let's begin. Let's get some messages on love and romance. What would be helpful to focus on and know about right now? Let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, Christ Consciousness, our higher selves, angels, and energies of love have for the highest, greatest good of all. I see a coin, so let's do the foundation as two sides of a coin. Maybe two different scenarios you need to have focus on, choices maybe you're making, or maybe one is your energy, one is somebody else's. One could be where you are now, one's the past, one's the future. See how it resonates. Let's see what comes through and what are two sides of the coin to have focus and clarity on right now for the collective when it comes to love, romance, relationships, connections, matters of the heart. This could be something you are thinking about. This could also be something that's coming in. So clarity for the collective, please, and thank you. I mean, you got the Two of Cups coming through in a love reading. So this is focused on love. For some of you, this is a relationship that comes later on in life. Not really when you thought you'd have another, romance blooming, but it looks like a mature love. For some of you, this is a mature love that continues to grow into the future. It's really sweet. You're just kind of hanging out, having some tea outside. There's little lovebirds above you. The Two of Cups is beautiful. That's love. That's romance. That's somebody who is choosing to be there because they enjoy your company, your conversation, your energy, the love that you have, the love that you share. A two is usually a choice to be together, to continue to grow together. This is a really deep, potentially beautiful situation if it's new. But for some of you, this is you recognizing how deep and special a certain person is in your life. I am definitely getting, for some of you, you didn't think love would be coming into your life. So whether you're maybe a widow or a widower, or you've been divorced, or you haven't been in a partnership in like years. I'm seeing years here where it just wasn't, like, you're kind of curious about it, but you didn't think it happened to you. I feel like it's going to happen to you, and probably first. Then I feel like maybe even before the ones who are kind of out there and hoping and looking. I see that something is unexpected. So maybe this is an unexpected partnership, or maybe somebody you've known a long time but never expected it to go to love land. It looks like friendship and chemistry. It looks really beautiful. If this is upside down, because we'll look at both. If this is upside down, it might be that you've had a release on a cycle with a certain person where maybe it was right for a long time and you grew apart. For some of you, you could have been in a partnership where feelings change, you've outgrown each other. I feel like with the Two of Cups though, if you have moved on, had a breakup, I kind of feel like it was done with maturity, especially with these two people here. I feel like it was parting ways, but still with the energy of love. That's really beautiful. That's very mature, and not everybody can do that. So it makes me feel very proud, because it's recognizing that you can have a cycle, a time, a beautiful partnership with a person that you value, you respect, you enjoyed the time together, you grew together, and even if you grow apart, you still want the best for each other. You wish each other love. That's a really beautiful place to begin a love reading with. So let's see what the other side of the coin is, or a different focus. This could also be a different group of you. What is the other side of the coin to have awareness of when it comes to love, romance, relationships, matters of the heart, somebody new coming in, and or a certain person that you are thinking about, connected to via love? One message, please. That's moving on. So you have the Six of Swords. There could be somebody in this boat with you. You could also be on this boat, on this journey alone. You're heading out to either the sunrise or the sunset. But this is, you don't have heavy baggage with you. You just have this cute little pink backpack. The wind is blowing in your hair. You've put all the swords of clarity, focus, lessons learned, communication that you value, and you've brought that with you. But there's no heavy baggage. You've decided, or you've learned, to leave all of that on the shore. All of the weird past circumstances or arguments or wrong partnerships or how you messed up in a relationship, miscommunication, all of that stuff. You've learned from it. You've made the conscious choice and awareness to change out of old habits or get to grow because of something, and you're just taking what you need. This usually means that someone is on their way towards you, on their way away from you. You are going on a journey together, or you are the one on your own single and loving it journey, doing your own thing, you know. Usually it's like kind of leaving something behind, but heading towards more and more mental clarity of maybe who you are. If this is you in independence, this is who you are as an individual, what you really like to do, experiences you get to have. This is where you learn to navigate those storms differently. You have been through storms before, so when you smell in the air, feel in the electricity, I don't know, something's gonna come pretty soon. You can see a weird cloud over there in the sky. Better get my raincoat out of my pink backpack. You know, it's recognizing from experiences you've been through what to do differently this go around. Therefore, even if the waters get choppy, you have the capacity to handle it smoother. I'm seeing with more intelligence. I don't know why I see something getting out of hand in the past, or somebody overreacting, maybe because of something that was emotional, even though that was kind of I see like an instant reaction, but not the normal vibration. So somebody who, maybe you or someone else, just kind of reacted, but that wouldn't be normally how you would have handled a situation. And I feel like if that was you, if that like was a trigger or something, you learned really, really fast your lesson. You're not going to let something trigger you again. I feel like this is you grounded as you are moving across an emotional situation or heading towards a new emotional situation, if that is a sunrise. If it's upside down, you brought way too much luggage in that little rowboat, and you forgot to plug the hole that was on the bottom. You know, instead of doing it right and doing it with some welding, making sure that was absolutely secure, you just put some duct tape on that situation, and eventually that water is going to come up in the boat and you're going to feel like you're sinking again. So it's knowing better and repeating something that you've learned from. You can't go very far if you're still tied up with all that baggage, or you didn't use those swords to maybe sever anything that you know was a blessing, but a past lesson, but no longer your cycle. And if you're still holding on to that in the past, you're not going to get very far on that journey. That's upside down. So I really like both of these. And even though you have the swords and the cups, because there's always so much water in that Six of Swords, it still has an emotional connection. It's lessons you learn with mental clarity, or the ability to react different or have a conversation differently when it comes to matters of the heart and or emotions. And it's a 6, so that does connect to balance and love. So let's go to the divine truth. And let's just go a little deeper, because these messages kind of go all over the place. So this could be giving you clarity on new situations, new little storms or such as it approaches, or maybe what somebody is feeling or thinking towards you but hasn't expressed yet. Or even if it's just a little peek at something that might happen in the future, and this is going to help you, you know, pull out that raincoat from your pink divine truth, been here an ultraviolet dove suitcase of wisdom and clarity. So let's see what comes through. I do feel like I want to give these an extra shuffle. So let's shuffle them a little bit extra and get a little bit more clarity for you guys. All right, so what are some divine truth messages for the collective to clarify the Two of Cups and the Six of Swords? I feel like we should do these separate, even though there's always a connection with the coin. Now I'm seeing the side of the coin. I just looked at this. I just looked at my shirt in the video, and I totally didn't realize that I'm wearing a shirt that says smile. And my mom just gave me this neon that says smile, and I'm wearing neon. Oh my gosh, that was not planned at all. That's really funny. Oh, pretty cool. That was good. Nice synchronicity. All right, so that just kind of made my day. All right, let's get a little clarity. I feel like we should do the bridge, though. I see that, like, you know, the thickness on the side of the coin. So let's look at the bridge between this first. What is the bridge between the Two of Cups and the Six of Swords? Please and thank you. I looked at that clock on 1818. That's like a moon and a moon. Maybe something happens in, maybe it's about 2 months or 2 weeks, something like that. 2 weeks within the cycle of a moon. Maybe it's about somebody's moon sign. What would be helpful to know? Please and thank you. I just looked at these birds here, and I just saw the music video. I can't think of who the band is at all, but it's, oh, look what you've done and where you come, what you have won. I kind of only have it like a little bit. Look what you've done. I think it's jet. So maybe it's about a jet, or maybe not a boat, but a plane. Now I just thought of, I think it's like AGNES Stone, take you on a big jet plane. If you get to look at that video, it's really cute. It's that band kind of playing in cartoon land. It kind of looks like Snow White. You know, all the little animals come and listen to them sing that song. You lose what you have won. Oh, look what you've done. And then I think they have that song, Are You Gonna Be My Girl? I don't usually put 2 songs by one band, but both of those came pretty loud through. Are you gonna be my girl? So let's, I'm still shuffling. Ooh, Heartbreak is in between. So this is where you learn the lessons. This is also where, even if it was a soft ending of a relationship, it doesn't mean you don't feel. Maybe you're going through heartbreak right now. Maybe you're ready to finally heal from a situation from the past, or maybe you healed a long time ago and somebody else is going through this heartbreak. Somebody has to open up this door. So there is somebody that recognizes maybe they made the wrong choices in the past, but were they really wrong? Were they really wrong if somebody learned from having something not quite right in their life? Because that's not really a wrong choice. That's a lesson. It's a difficult one, especially when you got your heart broken. So it could be where somebody gave to the wrong person, or was with a person that maybe didn't value all the love that they had to give. It could have been where there ended up to be a disconnect or unrequited love or a mismatch in vibration. But somebody here recognizes that there was a wrong choice that was made and they're sitting in the pain of losing you. So perhaps that is the current energy. Perhaps that is what's going on right now on the sidelines, you know, on that side of the coin you kind of don't even pay attention to because you're looking at the surface situations. So maybe for some of you, this is somebody that is in a partnership. Maybe there is respect there, but maybe it's not a love that's growing. Or maybe this is somebody thinking about the connection they had with you and how different it was to any wrong decisions here that they chose. It's somebody imagining that kind of energy with you right now, either way. And either way, wherever this person is, whether that's you or someone else, that is not the energy they have around them. They're not feeling the same vibes, the same vibration that they did in their heart, in their soul, as they did with you. I feel like maybe somebody has a lot of storms. You know, they thought it'd be easier, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe you even had some stormy situations, but I feel like if you had any storms with somebody you are no longer connected to, I feel like it's that thing I saw before where somebody made a mistake and right away they're like, "Ooh, that was a mistake. Correct it. Learn from that one, not doing it again." You know, lesson learned, got an A. That was a big one. I had to fail once, you know, take the makeup exam. But I feel like you and somebody had the potential to get through something way easier than wherever they are now. So that's not everybody's situation. This could just be you reflecting on heartbreak. And that is a hard lesson to learn in life, but it's also a very realistic place to be. And that's also where you learn the most about what your boundaries are, you know, what you take with you, what you leave as far as baggage in the past. When you get to be with somebody that you really groove with, that you vibe with, that you see not just the potential of growth, but you are on those chapters as they turn, as something continues to grow, and you still continue to be in that energy of falling in love every day with each other. You don't let that go. You absolutely appreciate that person and that situation every moment you get, even if it gets a little choppy once in a while. So there is somebody that felt a lot of pain because they lost you. So let's go to the Two of Cups. Let's see what that is about. Clarify the Two of Cups right now for the collective, please and thank you. I just thought of Unbreak My Heart by Toni Braxton. Cadence. You have somebody writing you love songs, putting on their cool little sunglasses, getting out the guitar they've had in the closet for the last 10.5 years, and You're stirring up somebody's emotions and making them sing like the little birdies over here. Even if this is not somebody who typically sings, they're finding themselves whistling. This is after this connection. This is when, even if there's not this connection right now, either after somebody meets you or what they are remembering they had with you, for some of you. Or that could be your energy too. This is nice. It's somebody that thinks you're a muse. You know, you're an inspiration. You inspire them to do things really different in their life, to think differently, to have an artistic approach if they were typically very logical. With music, it's both. It's somebody making plans, being logical, doing something with a lot of preparation. I'm getting like, I see now somebody packing their suitcase, but I feel like somebody was making a lot of plans. But then I also feel like somebody's also being kind of spontaneous, kind of making decisions they normally wouldn't do until they met you. And now they're thinking about things that they never even thought they wanted to try. But with you, that might be a fun thing to do. You know, after that conversation that they had, maybe they're going to go see that band that they thought was really weird when they heard the only song that they know that was on the radio. This is somebody who believes you are an inspiration. You are my muse. They want to get creative, and you've sparked something in their soul. You lit up their fire. Come on, baby, love my fire. Little Doors came in. Like, you lit their fire. Their soul's a little extra sparkly with you in it, with you in their world. And if you are not in their world, they're missing that sparkle. So I do see some people writing some sad songs or writing some like poetry, but maybe that's helping somebody work out some heartbreak. That can be very healing, especially if somebody doesn't know how to express it or have anyone to express it to. To just write something down, you know, get those emotions out on paper, let that artist, you know, poet out in you, might be really healing. Maybe for some of you, you're going to hear about some, maybe not the weird breakup poems, but maybe you'll hear about the love poem later. What is another message? That somebody's not expressing how hurt they are by you. You have the secrets energy. So I do feel like they are handling something in silence. I feel like this could be somebody that isn't typically the romantic or doesn't know how to open up generally, even though they feel very romantic about you. I feel that for some of you, you might be connecting to somebody where that's kind of not their normal style. There's a reason that somebody is keeping you and them a secret. I kind of feel like it has to do with tears behind the eyes. I feel like if they really open up, if they really express how much they miss you, you know, how much of a blunder they made on the choice of where they are, even though it wasn't, it was a lesson. But that's how they feel. Like they messed it up with you. I kind of get that this person not only feels really bad about you or possibly how they treated you, or maybe even the way that they broke up with you or how long it's been since they've spoken to you. But this person is very complicated all around. And there's a reason they're not talking about you and them right now. I kind of feel like it's going to get them emotional. And maybe they got to work something out when they're in the shower or in the car by themselves. They're not really comfortable with doing it around somebody else right now. So if this is a new person in your life, so different stories because we're doing a love reading. If this is somebody new in your life and you have this brand new partnership, I mean, these people look really comfortable. You might have some secrets from the past. Maybe you don't want to open up all your baggage from all of your past heartbreaks. Maybe you just utilize those, you know, spiritual and emotional lessons that you have learned and do it different in this new partnership. If secrets were an issue in past partnerships, then maybe you not just talk about, but really make it known, even if you have to sing it in a song, that communication is really important to you, and that needs to be one of the foundational structures of a relationship as it develops. But I sort of see with this Muse energy that this is you giving somebody else permission to open up, where they're not comparing you to the past, where they feel confident and comfortable telling you anything, because you're not going to judge them. You're not going to drag that baggage back. You maybe will help them. Maybe they don't want help. They just want to be heard. But I feel like that safe space with you is going to feel like a relief to someone, because I feel like that somebody, if they've kept secrets, that's because they didn't feel safe with how they were feeling. Or for some of you, maybe they were protective over their own heart or over you. It says complicated person, they have hidden secrets, and they keep us a secret for a reason. So I feel like if you are in on that reason, you're going to figure that out together, especially with the Two of Cups. But if this is something being kept from you and you are now in a partnership, I do feel like that has to be addressed, but not made heavy. Like, look at the elephant in the room, recognize it, but, you know, don't sweep it under the rug. But your reaction with what you've learned here is going to make a big difference on how this person opens up to you. And you also might be the one that has a lot of secrets. So if it's something you've learned from, forgive yourself, forgive that person, you know, grow with that lesson and let the past go. There's no need to, you know, drag any past issues that you've already gone through. You've already completed that karmic cycle into a brand new relationship. So it's perfectly okay to have secrets about your past, but are you utilizing those lessons? Or are they secrets that might come and bite you back in the ass later? If it's something like that, and it's something that somebody needs to know, it's easier to just, you know, look it straight in the face and get it out, and then see where it takes you. So it could also be, if anybody has secrets, this person is pretty good at keeping secrets too, which is nice. That means that they are loyal, but they might be keeping something under wraps about their past, about you, or possibly in the beginning, if this is a new partnership coming in, because it's possible that somebody has a lot of changes if you've suddenly been the new muse in their life, and maybe people around them don't really have, you know, a closed mouth. It is possible somebody keeps a secret because the people around them have big mouths and like to talk, especially when it's sort of in the energy of gossip, or you're the new big story, and maybe this person wants to feel secure with you first, wants something to really start to move, and you know, that page to unfold past the two before they get other people involved, you know. So it's interesting. I saw the Unbreak My Heart, and I think Toni's album is actually called Secrets. I love that album. I used to play that on repeat. So what is another message? Let's merge on into this heartbreak energy, or take a little peek, because I don't think we should like put over focus on it. Definitely have awareness. Oh, well, maybe that would make sense. So maybe you had just as much heartbreak as somebody else for letting you go. Or this could just be untrustworthy situations you were in the past. And maybe that's some of the baggage you've learned to let go of. Because just because one person is untrustworthy does not mean that somebody else is. You have to allow someone else to, you know, be on every page as it comes. If somebody is new, you need to give them the benefit of the doubt until they prove you otherwise. But if this is somebody that's worried because they messed up on you, obviously made the wrong choice, possibly went to somebody else, whether you know that or not, maybe some of you found that out after the fact. This is somebody who is recognizing that they maybe were lying to themselves, maybe they were lying to others, maybe they were also lying to you. So that's a big lesson. That's a lot of baggage someone has to heal and learn from. But if that lesson is learned, that's a huge spiritual elevation and a lot of change that can happen in someone's life. Unless you start to see there's a repeat pattern. Now that's a big red flag that you are meant to move away from and head towards your own smoother waters. We made mistakes. I've made mistakes and I've lied in the past. Somebody doesn't know if you'll ever trust them again. That's up to you. It depends on the situation. It depends on how they open up, you know, how honest they are about what they went through, about what they did to you, about what they recognize that maybe they didn't even back then. And then you need to address and see if their actions match the words or the promises they are now making. I've made mistakes and lied in the past. They don't know if you're going to trust them again. This girl's like, who are you looking at? I'm getting a little bit, especially with this one, the grass is greener. I feel like somebody wanted to see if the grass was greener. Maybe didn't recognize what they had with you, and they went somewhere else and found out that that beautiful green grass was actually plastic AstroTurf. That's really harsh. That's kind of what I see. So maybe it was kind of superficial, artificial, surface level, not that deep. I see like the front, like I see the front of a house where, you know, you have that grass that you roll out, but it wasn't really something that somebody planted. Interesting. I just thought of a place in New York City. There used to be a place in New York City that opened up its front doors, and every day they would roll real grass out, and you walk in and it'd be grass inside, and there were huge chandeliers. It was really beautiful. It was one of the most beautiful bathrooms I've ever seen. Side note, you know, it had its own chandelier and like lounge chair in the bathroom. I was like, what is this? Also, if you have a restaurant, if you are, I'm just going to mention that if you are opening a restaurant, if you have anything to do with that, don't disregard the decoration, the beauty, the cleanliness of the bathroom. It makes all the difference. That's just my personal opinion. So back to the divine truth. I don't even know. I got totally off with that. Oh, I feel like that somebody rolled out that green grass and it looked really nice. Maybe it was real grass, but then you walk around to the backyard and it's just rocks and dirt. There wasn't really any effort put into that. It was like somebody bought something that was kind of real and kind of did as much effort as rolling it out, making sure it was even, and never took care of it. So I know that was a weird kind of energetic impression to get, and I know I had a little maybe it's that there's a Sia song called Chandelier. Maybe it needed to take me to the Chandelier song. I'll put that in the playlist for you. I can't really get the words right now, but sometimes I go on those weird little energetic download trails for, you know, that little nugget of wisdom at the end. So on the Chandelier, it is a good song. Chandelier. All right, clarity, moving towards that Six of Swords. Tell us a little more about what has changed. What has changed since this heartbreak or because of the heartbreak? Truth, clarity, honest, mature communication, acceptance, forgiveness. Even if you don't want to be with a certain person again, or if this is somebody new and whatever they express to you is not for you, that is a red flag for you, it's still being non-judgmental, having that elevated spiritual perspective on something. It's not condoning somebody's action to offer forgiveness. What that does is that releases you energetically to the chains binding you to a situation. That releases you from that situation and opens you up to new blessing coming in. Because when you have unforgiveness, that is one of those anchors holding you to the dock of the past. So what is one more message? Please and thank you. That somebody had to go into solitude. This is something that somebody had to learn on their own. So if you had a separation, or you had a long time where you were in solitude before you know, somehow out of nowhere met this beautiful person and entered into a partnership, or at least suddenly, you know, you're considering it. It's this solitude, kind of like the hermit energy, where that inner light was turned on, where self-reflection could happen, where the changes needed to begin, where there wasn't just a blossoming in a partnership or because of a certain person, but a blooming inside one's soul, inside one's self. That's where the changes start. And that's where they're real. So if somebody continued to have your energy, or didn't have the experience of an energy that wasn't you at all, they wouldn't recognize how valuable your energy, your soul, your love, your dynamic, your friendship, your everything is. Even if this is not somebody that you are reconnecting with, this is somebody who knows a little more about what they can have. Especially if this is somebody that always had weird relationships, suddenly had yours. Now, those weird relationships are never going to feel right if they always compare it to you. Even if it's not you that they're with. It is possible for someone to learn so much and still be with an amazing person. It's not going to be you, but maybe it is someone who has a beautiful similar energy into spirituality, has unconditional love, and that might be right for that person where they are. You still offered a gift to someone. But there is someone here that specifically really misses you. There's not going to be anyone that compares. So the silence between us has given me the insight needed to set my soul free. Somebody felt their soul was trapped. That's a pretty crappy place to be. Whether that was entrapment because of self-doubt, insecurities, or wrong vibes with somebody else, maybe even a codependency, or somebody over-controlling or overpowering or over-giving to another person. That's lack of balance. So this person had to get some balance back by being in solitude. And I kind of feel like for some of you, this is really sweet, actually. For some of you, if you have a new partnership coming in, and I see different scenarios. I actually see some had some, like maybe a in-between weird one here, partnership, but maybe you are like that energy that somebody had in the past, where maybe they had a beautiful marriage, or they had a beautiful long-term relationship, or even if it was short, but there was somebody they had real love with. So it's not that every person here we're connecting to and all your past exes or whoever this is I'm reading right now have all had like all negative relationships, and then you come along and everything's wonderful, then everything else sucks. For some of you, you may be the one that reminds them of somebody that they feel was a blessing that they got to have in the past, just for whatever reason it didn't work, or, you know, something happened in life. And even though you are not the same as whoever that was they are thinking about, you might be the one that comes into their, ooh, that's giving me goosies, yeah. You might be the one that reminds them what real love is. And maybe that's exactly right for whoever that is and where you are right now. And that's really beautiful, because that's somebody that's been, you know, at the top and messed up. Somebody that's really learned through a lot of cycles who they are, you know, values real love. That means if that's a new partnership, they're going to value you right away. They're probably not going to let you go. And maybe there is some old heartbreak from something that didn't work out, but I feel like it's more gratitude. Maybe there's a little bitterness from the weird ones, but I feel like that's not really even at the people they were with, but for their own, like their own lack of integrity towards decisions of what is healthy for them. And remember, everything in a love reading can be reversed. So I kind of like how these messages today had many different layers and dynamics. So let's see. What would be helpful? What is the next step after this solitude? For some of you, maybe it's you that needed a little silence, you know, a little disconnect from someone's energy, a little time to heal, figure out something on your own, regain this sense of independence, refocus your own direction. And whether it's on this new journey, on this path that you meet somebody new or somebody kind of pulls up in their little rowboat right next to you, there is definitely a more evenness to each of you being able to take that journey on your own, have an interdependence rather than one person always rowing the boat and one sitting there like a princess in the front, you know. So, or prince. I feel like even if it's a dichotomy of energy, like maybe that person does the navigating or recognizes, you know, how to get out that raincoat if the storm is coming. But I feel like there's more equality coming in with whoever it is that you are going to connect to. What is one more? Head over heart. Well, here you have somebody in your head. So maybe that's what they had to recognize in solitude. Maybe somebody went with the logical choice. They went with what everyone else told them was the right thing to do instead of what their heart was telling them. They pushed away the direction of their heart, you know, for forward movement, maybe ignored all the storms altogether, but that heart was always there. You were still in their mind. Somebody had to learn to connect their head and their heart. Heart says yes, but the old mind is saying no. And you know what that did? That put them in not just mental pain, but heartbreak. Their head and their heart were suffering because there was a lack of connection between the two. But it was only in this space alone where they could figure out how to make that weird situation a lesson of growth. So let's get one more. And that would be the growth. So if somebody made you an option there, put you on the back burner, you know, something that they'll figure out later, this is somebody who's stepping up. This is somebody that if somebody, either one of these people falls off that moving hoverboard platform that's moving them forward, yet elevating them up in the air as they are grounded all at the same time. This is somebody who is connecting to you, maybe thought bubble to thought bubble, maybe actually speaking and getting it out of the old head, a little more into the hearts. I also see a little telepathy here, and I feel like if somebody fell off that platform, the other person's helping them back up. This is not somebody that kept you up there on that pedestal. For some of you, maybe somebody, maybe some of them, if there was a lack of confidence in someone, and they feel like you're this muse, you're this star, you know, you brought all of this amazing love that has to be a fairy tale in your life. Somebody may have thought you were too good to be true, so they went with the sure thing, but that really didn't gall to their heart. The sure thing wasn't really what they surely wanted. It was more like a settling energy. I feel like if somebody had you up on that platform, you always tried to see eye to eye with them. You put them just as high as they put you, but you were trying to say, hey, you're equal. You're equal here. There's equal chemistry going on. But this is somebody who needs to be equal with you. They need to have their own confidence to know that they deserve you and you deserve them, and vice versa, and back and forth. Somebody that made you an option, there's no other options here. If this is somebody in the past that always kept their options open, you're coming through. If this is a new partnership and you're making every other option just kind of melt, become invisible, and not even be something that somebody sees. They only see you. I think that's a song. Is that the Penguins? I only have eyes for you. You are no longer an option. I am making you a priority, and it's when actions now match their words, which is what we saw here that somebody was learning. And I'm auto shuffling, so let's do one more final one. Left on red. Interesting, because some of these are so beautiful and vibrant here. These messages are beautiful, but this is really real. So I kind of like that this was a pretty solid, realistic, know the nitty-gritty of a situation and what was going on underneath the surface on the side of that coin or the other side of the moon you never normally look at kind of reading. And somebody was left on red. They didn't know what to say. They're going through a lot, so maybe somebody, you know, had that ... to be continued. They just don't know how to respond. So if you've been, hey, what's going on? How are you doing? You know, how have you been? And if there's anyone that left you hanging and didn't respond, they just don't know what to say. Left on red. I kind of feel like that energy is going to end, but maybe that gives you a little clarity right now why somebody wasn't coming out of their solitude. I feel like that wasn't personal. They just didn't know what to say. I feel like somebody really regrets a lot of things, and to start to open up that can of worms takes them a little deeper into their head and their heart than they were or are ready to do at the moment. But somebody is growing. That's going to change. I do see that energy where it's maybe non-judgmental of somebody needing space, needing time. That will help somebody get through their situation. And if that's you and you just don't know how to respond because somebody all of a sudden is coming back, expressing how you're a priority, wanting to be in your life, saying how much they missed you, and you are not ready, that could be you. Wait to respond, you know, until you're ready, until it feels right. I love that this came through. This is like the cadence. This is somebody that knows that you introduce them to color. And that's a big change for someone to go through. Just recognize, if somebody never saw neon, they only saw brown grass and like shades of gray. They never saw anything besides this way or that way. It's black or it's white. You know, it's good, it's bad. There might be a little gray in between, but what is blue? That doesn't even exist. What is neon? What is pink? Like, and somebody who's literally never seen color before, their eyes have to do a little adjustment. You know, their brain has to figure out what that is because they actually have no reference other than you to compare it to. So for some of you, maybe you introduced somebody to color. You know, you put a little romance in their life. You showed them unconditional love. You showed how you can move with your heart and your head will figure it out along the way. Maybe even a lot of you gave somebody the benefit of the doubt with something that maybe you felt in your heart. You knew something was going on, but you know, you wanted to see if somebody's actions match their words, if their promises would come through. For some of you, it will. For some of you, it didn't. But there's a lot of spiritual lessons here. There's a lot of growth that has happened in someone's life because you were the catalyst. And there's also a lot of growth that's happened in your life, probably because of what you went through with all this energy going on here. So that's huge. Even that makes you recognize that maybe you meet somebody where every single color is beautiful, where somebody else recognizes, you know, all of those facets of a situation, and you're not maybe teaching them that anymore. And maybe that is you finding somebody you are in balance with right away. And that is your path. For others, maybe you meet somebody and maybe they also see in black and white, but right away they get it. They're like, this is something different. You know, I've heard about those colors before, but I never actually met somebody that was able to show me how to see them. And then they recognize something so special right away, they're not letting it go. Like this person did, got all confused. So it's just a lesson, it's growth. Some people learn, some people don't, you know? Everybody has a different journey, a different lesson. And when things come together and they work out beautifully, that's wonderful. And sometimes they come together and they're weird. And that's also wonderful, because it's usually the weird situations that make you grow the most. So, there was a lot here. Let's get a message from the universe. I hope you guys enjoyed the love reading. I do find them very different because I do get a lot of downloads of a lot of different scenarios from different people, because no one's situation is just this one little cookie cutter story reading that everybody is going through this that's watching this. It doesn't work like that. When it comes to heart and emotion and, you know, what's going on in the old noggin or not going on in there, it gets complicated. Especially when it's between the dynamic between one individual and the other. That's like a composite chart. You know, you have the complication of one person's personality and what they go through in life. Then you have somebody else, and then you put them together. That's like a whole other situation that is the partnership, that is the experience, that is the relationship, on top of how each sees it and handles it on their own. So maybe you have to do your composite chart. You know, if you meet somebody, you know, and that's an easy conversation to have. Maybe if you understand astrology, you can see what the dynamic of the relationship is. And I said something about your moon sign before. Maybe the moon sign, also Venus. Look at the Venus, because that usually has to do with the old love department. Let's get one message from the universe, please and thank you. It landed upright, but it flew all the way on the floor. So maybe this is a message that felt far away, and we're going to bring something to the forefront. Release all doubts and fears. Where's your... That would be doubt and a fear. You are currently undergoing changes that are necessary for your highest good. They are changes that have been long awaited. I said something in the very beginning about waiting a long time. Leave the past where it belongs, whatever it was. Leave it where it belongs in the past, and trust that everything will fall into place for you in divine timing. Good old divine timing, happening when it should. And not being on your schedule of, you know, when you want it to come. So just let it go. When it comes in, it's going to come in right because of the lessons you've learned along the way on your beautiful journey of life. And if it is something that is in divine timing, that means it's also divinely guided. It's also a divine gift. And it's also something that you're going to recognize without a doubt, that is a blessing from God, a gift from the universe, meant to come into your life as you are meant to come into someone else's at exactly the right time. And when that blessing comes in, be all in. Give it your all. Connect your heart and your head and see how it goes. With that, I bid you adieu. I love you so much. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. If you enjoyed the love reading, I'd appreciate you liking this video. I don't usually ask, but it does help these videos. And leave me a little comment. I love to read your comments and connect to you guys. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I love you very much, and I will see you